Hats off to Coastal Carolina. Unbelievable team, group, offense. They did some really good things today. Marshall beat Marshall way too many times today. And when you play these type of teams that have the ability that Coastal does, it's going to be hard to win when you're stumping yourself in the foot. Penalties, turnovers, red area not converting, special teams, opportunities missed. So I thought the guys played hard. I thought the defense settled down after about the first quarter. I thought the offense did some good things. We stretched the ball down the field in the pass game a little bit. But way too many mistakes to beat a really good team. And they're forced errors, meaning, we can control those. We can control taking care of the football. We can control executing in the red zone. We can control making sure we tackle well. We can control the discipline of our eyes. We can control the penalties. We did way too many things today that did not help Marshall. And when you're playing a good team, it's going to be tough to win. So hats off to them. We got to go back to the drawing board. Got another tough opponent coming up, so we got to be ready to go.
Of kind of a positive note, though, your defense, they held them just to 3 points for the final 3 quarters. Just what do you think of their performance tonight?
Yeah, I thought they started slow, and it caught up to us. And you can't give a team like that a 21-point lead. It changes the way they play. It changes the way that you have to play. Obviously, they settled down, which was really good to see. We talked about them responding. I thought they did a good job of that. But way too many missed opportunities. We got chances to get them off the field on third down. We don't do that. We got some chances to make some tackles, at the line of scrimmage, and they scored out for 4 or 5. We're going to look at the film, and there's going to be, take away the first quarter, there's going to be a handful of plays that we got to be better on, and they play really well. But when you start the second quarter 21-0, it makes it tough. So we've got to be better. Obviously, offensively, we got some opportunities that could have balanced it out when we got in the red zone. If we get some points, if we hit a field goal there, the kick comes out low, guy gets his hand on it. If we do a better job, converting, in the red area, getting some touchdowns, changes the landscape. But when you don't do those things and you don't do well on the other side, it makes it tough.
Coach, on that fourth down that you went, did you think about a field goal to put it in a one-possession game at 24-6?
Yeah, I did. I thought about it, but we're 50-50 on field goals. We could have went for the field goal and it gets a low kick, and you should have went for it. I thought we had an opportunity to convert it. It was a good ball to Kalen. He had the opportunity to go up and make a play, which would have changed the landscape a little bit. You have a little more time if you can get the ball back, to kind of, move down the field. I couldn't see it clear. I don't know if it was a drop or it hit him in the back. But we got to execute. We got a one-on-one, balls in the air. Got to go make a play, and that changes the landscape, right? We score a touchdown there, we go for 2, now it changes the landscape. We didn't, so those are the execution things you got to execute. I thought Cam did some good things in that situation. I thought he threw a good ball. I couldn't see if the guy batted it down or if Kalen, dropped it, but one-on-one. That's what we talked about, winning our one-on-ones. We didn't do enough of that tonight on offense in the red zone, if that makes sense.
When you look at what Cam and Corey have been able to kind of develop chemistry-wise, is that just a result of reps when you see them start to get the timing down on some of this?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of reps. I think it's a combination of what we're able to do with Cam changes the landscape a little bit on how defenses play. Because we, have the ability to get him to the edge, you can't always just double Corey. So he's getting a few more one-on-one opportunities, which he's making some plays. I think, again, because of the the things we can do with Cam, it loosens up a little bit in the run game. So now he's getting some of those RPO glances and and slants behind guys. So again, I think it's a combination. I think they are doing a good job of building a rapport. But again, I think it's a combination of what strengths you have when you play Cam, what strengths you have, in the run game versus, them adding an extra hat in the box, and then you got your RPOs behind it. So.
I know that it seemed like the third quarter, every other play, guys were going down for one, good job of, do you feel like it was a good job of the next man up situations? And for two, do you have any updates on?
Yeah, no, I don't have any updates. I know we've been talking about, the ability to stay healthy, and in this grind, that's going to be important. I don't have any updates, but I thought, again, you never know. You got to be ready. And I thought, for the guys that went in, I thought they were able to kind of keep it rolling. Hopefully we'll have some updates tomorrow on where guys are, and we'll have a little better idea of what we look like moving forward. But you got to be ready, and that's the beauty of college football. You just don't know when, your number is going to be called. And I thought those guys who did go in, obviously surface level without looking at the film, I thought they did a good job.
When you look at the film over the last few weeks, I know you've talked about the offense being a work in progress. How do you feel like that progress is coming along with Cam under center?
Yeah, I thought, for the most part, I thought we moved the ball a lot better. We talked about X plays. I thought for the first time we hit some X plays. I don't think we did a really good job in the red area, and then that's where you gotta cash in. Combination, execution, combination of turnovers. You'll look at the film and there may have been some reads, there may have been some looks, whatever it may be, but we didn't execute. We were 2 of 5 down there. Obviously one of them was a blocked field goal, so that all goes together. It's got to, the offense has got to get the ball in the end zone. The special teams unit, when you do roll them out there, we got to make our kicks. We try to send, Reese out for reasonable what's in his range. We try not to send him out there for 52 or 58. We got to make them, and we haven't been consistent in that area, which puts a little more pressure on the offense. Now you're getting down at the end of the game, you're saying, well, do we kick it, do we go for it? When you're looking at the chart and you're less than 50% on field goals, it should say go for it. You give it to your best player, go make a one-on-one play. If we can get a little more consistency in certain areas, then you play a little bit different. But I thought for the most part we did some better things offensively. I thought we got behind the 8 ball a little bit. We missed some opportunities. But I did think, those X plays we were talking about showed up a little bit. We'll go back and look at the film, and it probably be a combination of, drops, right looks, missed blocks, but those are the things that you continue to work on. But I thought we're doing some more things. It felt looser, if that makes sense. The last couple weeks, it felt like we were kind of just spinning our wheels in the mud. This one felt a little bit looser, like we could really take advantage of the whole offense working together.
On both sides of the ball, it looked like you made some adjustments. The defense, got the stops, and then it looked like you were moving the ball. What were some of the adjustments that you're willing, to share?
Yeah, no, we really didn't adjust anything on defense. We just told them to look at the right stuff. The first quarter, everybody's looking at the ball. You can't look at the ball in triple option world. You got to look at your responsibility. A couple of times we were in the right area, we just weren't down low enough. So now when the ball comes back to me, it's already gained 4 yards before I can trigger on it. So it really wasn't as much of true adjustments as it was doing what we should have been doing in the first quarter, if that makes sense. I think they took advantage a little bit of our speed on defense and kind of got some things going back the other way, which again, you got to be gap sound, you got to be leverage sound. Until the ball crosses the line of scrimmage, you can't fold. Just the little things that we should have been doing from the beginning. I don't know if we go back and look at it. Maybe it was different formation than we practiced or anything like that. But we didn't make a huge adjustment. It was just, hey, you're supposed to be looking at this. You have this gap, and then when we get to the guy, we got to tackle him. Offensively, we thought we were running the ball pretty good. But then we felt like we kind of got squeezed a little bit with the time and the score, so we felt like we had to do a little bit more down the field, which I think Cam did some good things. A couple opportunities there where we got some sacks or we got some pressure up inside, a combination of protection and getting the ball out on time. But there was no major adjustments. It was kind of working the game plan. Obviously, when the score gets that flipped fast, you can't go too far away from what you plan to do, but you got to kind of have a little bit more tempo because you don't want to get put against the time crunch.
Did you feel like on that hit where they got to McCall from behind that it was a fumble? I was in the end zone. It looked like.
Yeah, I asked the guy and he said they look at it upstairs and he said that they said it wasn't. So again, in those situations, once they look at it upstairs, if you decide to still challenge it, you're burning a timeout. To me, once they look at it, unless you feel perfectly confident that they looked at it wrong, you don't want to burn a timeout in that situation.
They blew the whistle pretty quick, didn't they?
Yeah, they blew the whistle, and then I asked the guy on the side, and he said they looked at it, and his arm was going forward. Probably one of the things that didn't show up for us today that showed up on defense was the turnovers. We just didn't get any. Obviously really good quarterback making good decisions. We didn't knock any out, off the ball carrier, So in these type of games, those are the things that you got to do, You got to be able to do those things to create an opportunity for you guys, for us to be in a better position, in the crunch time.
You sound like you were kind of vocal at the end. Can you share what you...
Yeah, I just told them. I said, the things we talked about us having to do in order to win the game at the beginning of the week. Playing with really good discipline, didn't do it. Staying composed, didn't do it. Taking care of the ball and executing, didn't do it. And when we don't do those things, no one should have their heads down. No one should point the finger. Everyone's got to look at myself and say, hey, what didn't I do that I did all week? What didn't I do in this game? And I told them there were some great things, and we're going to go back and look at the film. There were some great moments. But when you're playing really good football teams, you can't go one play great, next play not execute. One play great, next play execute. They got guys over there, too. They're on scholarship that executed. And that's where we've got to be better. No, you're not going to run every play for 100 yards right up the middle. But what we got to do is the things that are easy. I tell them all the time, we got to make easy. The throws, the catches, the blocks, looking at the right thing, tackling a guy in space. Those are the things that you got to do. I'm sure we're going to go back and look. I bet you our Marshall beaters were the highest they've been all year. Last week, our Marshall beaters were 7, the lowest we've been all year. I guarantee when we go back and look at missed tackles, penalties, turnovers, sacks, it's going to be the highest it's been all year. But we missed, a boatload of tackles in that first quarter. And we were in position, broke tackle. Well, now that, that 3-yard gain that you're going to get an opportunity for turns into, it gets 7. Can't do that against good teams. And I think our guys know that. We got to be better at it. We got to be better at it. Those are areas we got to convert on, and we got to be better in those areas, the things we can control. Turnovers, penalties, missed tackles, sacks given, turnovers on the other side. We got to be better. Awesome. Really appreciate all the fans. I get it. I know homecoming, the festivities this week were great. We just didn't play well enough to win today. I still love these guys. I love this town. We came in today. The atmosphere was great. We got to be better. We got to be better, and we will be. We will be. So look forward to a great week. Go back to the drawing board. Get things cleaned up, play another really good opponent, and keep climbing. Keep climbing. So go Herd.